All right, so today we are going to be working on the FoodPicker app. What this is going to show is a little work with arrays and a little work with the shake gesture. Now, in our app, or in our library, we have different gestures like the pan, the rotate, the long click, swipe. The shake gesture is actually something you need to code in, and I'll show you what that is. So on our home screen, we're going to first put a label. This label is going to indicate what food we're going to have for dinner, or what restaurant. We'll say what food we're going to have for dinner. Now let's go restaurants. Let's do that route. So I'm going to put this label up at top. If I want to be fancy, I'll center it. You can change your fonts later if you'd like. We're also going to be able to add restaurants to these options. So the simple way to do it would be to preload all the restaurants in your code. We're going to do that, but then we're also going to have the ability to add restaurants and see what restaurants are on our list. So to do that, we're going to add a button down here. We'll add a text field. And we're going to add one more label below our button. This label will show the user what restaurants are all in the picking order, I guess. All right, and we're going to do something a little bit different with this label. We're going to make this label big. We're going to give it multiple lines, and we're going to automatically adjust the font to it because, to be honest, we don't really know how many we're going to add in here. So I'm just going to make this nice and big. I'm going to center. I'm going to select automatically adjust fonts, and I'm going to give it, we'll just say, I don't know, 10 lines. All right, so once again, I have my label up top. I have a text field, I have a button, and I have a large label at the bottom where I automatically adjust my font. I centered it, and I gave it 10 lines. So what the lines are going to do is going to allow for 10 lines of text. That's something you have to preset. I think it's really annoying that Xcode makes us do that. It doesn't just wrap the text the way it, I don't know, I guess could, but that's what the program is all about, is making us, let's customize it to exactly what we want. All right. So once I'm done here, I'm going to open up my assistant editor so I can connect these things up. Once I have it connected up, it will not take much code to make this puppy run. Just going to kind of clean up my screen a little bit so that you guys can see what's going on. All right, my first label, my top label, Control drag it over. I'm going to name this, let's just go place. I don't feel like spelling a restaurant. We'll go place label. I'm going to hook up my text field as place text field. Hook up my button as add place button. And this is going to be place array label. All right, I'm going to give you guys some time to get caught up here. So I have 3 outlets and 1 action. All right, so what we're going to do now is create our array. So we'll go var place array equals. Arrays go in these brackets here. All right, and what an array is kind of like a list or a place where you can house multiple options. All right, we'll go with that for now. So I'm going to go ahead and put in Taco Bell. We're going to make this a string, so we're using our quotes. We separate them with a comma. I'll go McDonald's. And we'll go Wendy's. All right. So once again, an array, we have a list of options as a string. Each one of these is indexed by a number or numbered. All right. So Taco Bell, the index number for Taco Bell would be 0. The index number for McDonald's is 1. The index number for Wendy's is 2. So we always start with 0 when we're talking about an array. All right. So now we want this array to show up in this label down here so the user knows what options are pre-loaded, I guess. All right. Since we coded these in, we can assume that once again they're pre-loaded places to go eat. So all we're going to write here is we'll say place array label dot text equals my place array dot description. All right. Down in, so now we're going to go and we're going to add our shake gesture. So the gestures that we know of, the swipe, the long hold, the pan, the pinch, those gestures can be found up here in our library. The shake gesture, however, needs to be coded in. So we start with override func, kind of like our view did load here. Override func, and I'm just going to type in MOT. All right, so we see motion ended and motion began and motion canceled. We're not going to use motion canceled very often. To be honest, I don't know if I've ever used it, but motion began and motion ended. Think of it this way. If we're making a dice rolling app, all right, when I start to motion my phone, start to shake my phone, I want the dice sound to be present, right? Because that's beginning, right? I'm shaking the dice. When I end, the dice numbers should show up. All right, so that's kind of my best way to explain motion ended and motion began. So I'm going to use motion ended. So motion ended, all I want to do is pick an option from here, randomly pick an option from here and put it in my place label. So I'll do place label dot text equals place array dot random element. There you go. That's all you need for that. To add a place to the array, all right, so if I put something in this text field, press this button, I want it to get added to this label, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say place array dot append. Append means to add. Append place text field dot text. We now need this to show up in the label. So I will just go right here, copy and paste this. So that will now update this label down here. And now I want to get rid of whatever word I type in, whatever place I type in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and write place text field dot text equals nothing. All right, so when I run this now, all right, so now when we run this, we should be able to shake our phone. Something adds up here. We'll type in Burger King, and we have an ad down there as well. All right, so there is your food place picker app. All right, guys, good luck.